Alright, as we move into phase 3 of our development, we're going to start working in Blackboard. And I want to give you a quick tutorial on how to use Blackboard to do what we're going to do here in phase 3. My hope is that you're going to be learning more about Blackboard as you start playing with it, of course as you ask me questions, but I just want to show you sort of the essentials for now. In the course shell that's been put together already for you, you'll find a bunch of stuff already there. First thing you'll notice is a Start Here page, which has some general information about welcome to class, navigating the class, and ultimately we'll put our introductory assignments in here as well. This is something we'll finish towards the end of phase 3 because we'll make a little video kind of giving a tour of the course. I'm happy to help with all of that, so don't worry about that right now. You also don't really need to worry about these top pages. We have the announcements page, you don't have to do anything there. Course information, eventually we'll put the syllabus, a pacing guide in here. Again, I'll probably take care of all those things. There's instructor information, the e-textbook, and a getting help page. Where all of your work lies is in the units down here. So you should see already in your course the 8 units of your semester. And I've gotten it started for you so that you can kind of see what it should look like, so you can kind of copy it as you go. In fact, within Unit 1, you'll see that I've put in each of the lessons as well as a unit test. Now these are all folders, and you can always create a new folder by doing build content. So there's really only a few things you'll ever use here under build content. One is a folder. Alright, that's what these are. And the other is an item. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. Okay, so here are the folders, and within each of these are basically the lessons, right? So the very first lesson looks like this. Now, every folder that I've created for you will have this as sort of its empty default contents, with a place for the activation, the place for the lesson content, and then a link which will go to the next lesson. Now none of these links are really going to be set yet. You'll have to actually set the link so that it points to the next lesson. I'll show you how to do that. So let's talk about how to do each of these things. But first, let's just talk about how did I get to this point. How did I get to this point? So I've done this already for you in each of these lessons, but once you get to the second unit, you're going to have to start doing this for yourself. And there's an easy way and a hard way to do it. The hard way to do it would be just to go to the second unit and just start building from scratch. You could say a folder, okay, and then you'd give that folder a name. You don't have to give it any other text, just a name. So you could say 2.1 and then the name of lesson. Okay, you could do it that way. That's fine. You see I created the folder, and then you could go inside the folder, which is now empty because you just made it, and you could build the items like the activation and the lesson. So you would say build an item, and here you could just give it the name activation. Okay, again, this is like the hard way. It's not that hard. You build another item, and you say lesson. Okay, and then there's a link we want to put at the bottom, a class link. So you could say build, and that's way down here, class link. And you could say click to go to the next lesson. That's what all the other ones say. Alright, and you'd have to point a location, so we'd have to choose a location in the course. I'll just say I don't have a place to click yet, so I'll just say Unit 2. Okay, I'm going through that quickly, but the point is this is the hard way to build it. You have to build each part. Let me show you the easy way. The easy way to build it is once you have one of these things, you can copy it. Right? So I'm going to just click on the side here, and I get some options for this folder. So I'm going to click on it and say copy. And now here are my options. It says what class do you want to put it in? Well, I want to put it in the same class I'm already in, and that'll be the default. Then it says, well, what folder do you want to put it in? So I'll hit browse, and I want to put it in Unit 2 because that's where I'm working. So I'll just click on Unit 2. See, it's there, Unit 2 Basic Chemistry in this case. Submit, and now I just made a copy of it. Let me make another copy. So I have, how many lessons do I have in this one? So let me go to my Phase 2 document. Okay, oh geez. Semester A, Phase 2, Unit 2. Alright, so I'm going to look through my Phase 2 document. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 lessons it looks like. So I want to copy, make sure there's 4 copies. So I just repeat this process. This is easier than building everyone over and over again. So I put that into Unit 2. Copy. Okay, let me copy it one more time. Unit 2. Oh, it's getting slow. There we go. Now I have 4 copies. Okay, and now all I have to do is change the name of each one. So as I look at my Phase 2 document, I've got the first one is called Matter and Energy. So I click on this again and I say Edit. Now I'm just going to change the name of this folder. So 2.1 Matter and Energy. Okay, this is going to be 2.2. Let's find out what 2.2 is. Composition of matter. So I'll change this to 2.2 colon composition of matter. Now inside every one of these I've done now, every these copies, I have all the pieces that I want. So I don't have to rebuild those. They're already there. So let's see here. 2.3. Looks like we skipped. 2.4. Chemical bonds and reactions. Okay, so you get the idea. You get the idea. And then for the unit test, okay, I can either build it or I can just copy this. Again, it's an empty folder right now because we haven't made the test yet. So I'll just copy this folder and I'll put it in Unit 2. Unit 2. Submit. Now if I go in here, I see it says Unit 1 Test. I want to change the name. I'll click Edit. Unit 2 Test. Okay, now you could follow this process and build all the folders for the whole course. And all the folders will have is activation, lesson, and click to go to the next lesson. Now we'll also end up adding for every one of these some sort of assignment, but since that's different for every single lesson, we aren't just going to keep copying it. Okay, so that's the first thing you could do in your course shell to help you get familiar with using Blackboard to make folders and items.